How's it feel, man? How's it feel?
It feels great. It feels great.
So, let me ask you, what was the genesis of this movie? How did this thing get started?
It got started because I actually had this job about 14 years ago, fresh out of college, waiting for that dream job, and that dream job doesn't come yet, so you have to get that in-between job to get you to the job, to get you to the job, to get you to the job. And I ran into these people, and I said, I have to tell that story one day. There's like forums on the internet, Facebook groups dedicated to people who worked in there just talking about their experiences, just about how it ruined their lives, or we had fun and this and that, and it started with that, and I just knew one day I would tell this story somehow.
Well, yeah, it's real. That's the thing that it might be hard to believe, but the people really do this, you know, and
Every day.
Yeah, every day, every day. What was the hardest part? What was the hardest part of making this movie? Was it? Well, let me back up. Was it acting and directing at the same time? Was that difficult?
It was difficult to a point, and there's a story behind that. This time, I ended up doing that the first movie I made, and this time I said I was not going to do that. I just wanted to see what it would be like to just direct and come to the set in whatever I wanted to, t-shirts, sweatpants, and seriously, we lost the lead actor like 5 days before we were going to shoot. So I had to change the whole storyline around it like 5 days before we were shooting. So originally it was like a 21-year-old slacker with a little sister, right? So Amari, who played my daughter, was really my daughter, was supposed to be his little sister, and he was just a 21-year-old slacker who was laying up in his mother's house. But I can't play 21. And I couldn't find people, and I was trying to get somebody at the last minute, and I couldn't really, and I'm like, wow, I have to do it. And I didn't really want to, but I was glad that in my first movie, Funeral Arrangements, I had to do it, so that showed me I could act and direct. But that's my goal, is to do one where I don't have to, and just see what it's like to really just work with the actors and get in their face and just come, not shave for 3 days and just be sloppy and just direct. That's what I want to do next time. But the hardest part would have just been just what all independent filmmakers go through. You're making things on a shoestring budget, things can happen. You're trying to respect people's schedules because they're really doing you favors. You're doing each other favors. Like, you're in my movie, they're doing you favors by being in it. So that's kind of hard. You want to respect people's time, and you have to deal with real life situations in the middle because we're not millionaires who just are getting paid millions to do it. So that's the hardest.
Or even hundreds to do it.
Yeah. Right.